2. Have you ever felt like you're being watched, even when you're alone? That unsettling feeling that someone, or something, is just beyond your perception. Today, we're going to dive deep into a story that takes this common fear and twists it into a terrifying countdown. We're breaking down a brilliant short horror concept titled 3 Seconds Longer, a perfect example of how to build suspense and dread using simple, yet incredibly effective, filmmaking techniques. This isn't just about a scary reflection. It's a masterclass in psychological horror that preys on our fundamental sense of self. What if the person staring back at you from the mirror wasn't you at all? Let's set the stage. The premise is deceptively simple. Each night, a woman's reflection in her bathroom mirror stays awake for 3 seconds longer after she turns off the light. A 3-second delay. It's subtle, easy to dismiss. And that's exactly where the horror begins. The story unfolds over 7 nights, each one escalating the tension and the time delay in a precise mathematical progression. This isn't a random haunting, it's a countdown. On night 1, our protagonist, let's call her Ilara, goes through her bedtime routine. She brushes her teeth, washes her face, and flicks off the light switch. But in the split second before the room goes completely dark, she notices it. In the mirror, her own reflection blinks just a moment too late. 3 seconds. It's odd, but she chalks it up to jet lag or exhaustion. We've all been there, right? Seeing things when we're tired. It's a brilliant way to ground the horror in a relatable experience. The audience, like Ilara, is prompted to rationalize it, making the subsequent events all the more jarring. The filmmaker's tip here is crucial. Use a locked-off camera on a tripod. This ensures that the only thing changing is the reflection, creating a clean, uncanny effect. Nut 2 arrives. Ilara is still skeptical, but a seed of doubt has been planted. This time, she's prepared. She sets a timer on her phone. Lights off. She watches the timer in the dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly 6 seconds later, the image in the mirror fades. The delay has doubled. The script notes also suggest adding a subtle, low hum that builds during this delay. This is a key element of sound design in horror. It's not a jump scare. It's an atmospheric tool that creates a sense of unease, a feeling that something is fundamentally wrong with the fabric of reality itself. The precision of the 6-second delay tells us this isn't random. There's a pattern, a rule. And in horror, rules are made to be broken, or worse, followed to a terrifying conclusion. By night 3, the curiosity has morphed into a chilling experiment. Ilara decides to test the phenomenon. She stands before the mirror, snaps her fingers, and gives a little wave. Lights off. She waits. 9 seconds pass. In the darkness, she can just make out the reflection mimicking her actions, but with a horrifying twist. The reflection's smile, a copy of her own, lingers for a beat too long. It's a subtle but powerful detail. A smile is a human expression of emotion. For the reflection's smile to be off, suggests it's not a mere echo, but a separate entity with its own intent. This is where the psychological aspect truly takes hold. The horror is no longer just about a visual glitch, it's about the perversion of self. That thing in the mirror looks like her, but it doesn't feel like her. The experiment continues on night 4. Now, Ilara needs proof. She's moving from personal experience to documentation, a classic horror trope that validates the character's sanity while simultaneously confirming the supernatural reality. She sets up her phone to film the mirror. Lights off. The delay is now 12 seconds. Later, as she watches the playback, her blood runs cold. During those extra 12 seconds of existence, the reflection, her doppelganger, slowly turns its head and looks directly at the camera. It's a chilling moment of awareness. The text overlay suggested in the script, "This isn't latency," is perfect. It's a direct address to the audience, breaking the fourth wall in a way that confirms this entity is intelligent, and it knows it's being watched. It's no longer just a passive image, it's an active observer. On night 5, fear has given way to panic. Ilara tries to assert control, to communicate with this other self in the only way she can. She takes a sticky note and writes a single, desperate command. Sleep. She presses it onto her side of the mirror. Lights off. 15 seconds. In the horrifying silence, she hears a faint sound. The squeak of paper against glass. The sticky note, her message, is peeled off from the other side of the mirror and pressed against the glass, facing her. The entity is not just aware. It can interact with her world, bridging the gap between reflection and reality. This is a brilliant use of a simple prop to escalate the threat exponentially. The barrier is thinning. She flees the bathroom, the safe space of her home now violated. Night 6 is the turning point. The question is no longer what is happening, but why is it happening? Elora, driven by a mixture of terror and a desperate need for answers, writes a question directly on the glass with a marker. Why are you awake? Lights off. The timer ticks up to 18 seconds. This time, something new happens. Fog, like breath, forms on the reflection side of the mirror. And within the condensation, 2 words appear, written from the inside, counting down. This is the reveal. The pattern, the increasing delay. It wasn't a glitch. It was a countdown. To what? The story doesn't say, and that ambiguity is terrifying. The low-frequency rumble in the sound design would be at its peak here, a gut-level vibration that mirrors Elora's own trembling fear. We arrive at night 7, the climax. The countdown is reaching its zenith. The delay will be 21 seconds. Elora, almost in a trance, places a metronome on the counter. Its steady 60 BPM tick, marking each passing second like a heartbeat, counting down to oblivion. The captions emphasize 21 seconds. This creates an almost unbearable sense of anticipation. Lights off. The metronome ticks. This time, the reflection doesn't fade. Its eyes remain wide open in the darkness. Then, it moves first. It raises a hand and touches the surface of the mirror from its side. The glass, once a solid barrier, ripples like water. The boundary has been broken. And then, the final, devastating beat. The scene cuts to the next morning. Elora enters the bathroom. She looks pale, drained, her energy seemingly leached from her. But she's acting off, a little too calm. As she turns away from the mirror, the camera gives us one last glimpse of her reflection. And for a terrifying instant, we see it. The reflection blinks 3 seconds late, just like on the first night. But now, its lips move, silently mouthing 2 words to us, the audience. Let me out. The metronome stops. Cut to black. The entity hasn't just been counting down, it's been orchestrating a swap. The Elora we see now is the reflection, and our protagonist is trapped inside the mirror. The cycle has reset, but now the prisoner is on the outside. 3 seconds longer is a masterpiece of minimalist horror. It shows that you don't need a huge budget or complex special effects to create something truly terrifying. All you need is a strong concept, a creeping sense of dread, and a perfect understanding of psychological tension. It leverages our innate fear of the uncanny, the familiar made strange. It's a story that will make you think twice the next time you turn off the bathroom light. What if your reflection decides to stay awake, just for a few seconds longer? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. I hope you found this breakdown as fascinating and chilling as I did. If you enjoyed this analysis, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content where we explore the art of storytelling. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this concept, and if you have any other brilliant short film ideas you'd like me to break down. Stay safe, and maybe avoid mirrors after dark.